Thank you, Jill. Yeah, we've been looking forward to this all day. I think we had a strong inkling before a ball was spotted that this could be the group decider, and so it's proved. Remember, all Liang needs is a draw. Selby needs to win 3-0 or 3-1. Just one extra point which is worth making. We've told you that Joe O'Connor has secured third place. That is true. But if Selby were to lose this match, O'Connor would finish second in the group, Selby third. Unless Selby makes a break of 144 or more.
Yeah, looking forward to this one, Phil. It's got the makings of a great game. It's worked out perfectly again, the draw, with the last match being the all-important one. That's what you want at the beginning of play. And it should be a cracker as well. Liang's in good form, and we know all about Selby.
Don't normally make predictions, but while I'm a big advocate of Liang, I just got the feeling this late night drama and high pressure stuff will be right up Mark Selby Street.
Well, if you ever want to put your money on someone to get the job done towards the end of the tournament, Mark's your man. I think this first frame is absolutely vital. Could help Mark on his way should he win it, and obviously if Liang was to lose it, it would really pile the pressure on.
Selby trying to become the third member of the top 16 to reach the next phase of groups.
First glance, that could be unfortunate for Liang. He looked like he'd found a little shot to nothing there. Attempt at the red, get on the black should he miss, but because he's missed it thin, the cue ball's run a bit further than intended, and he's left this red for Mark. So first chance, Mark Selby.
One.
Mark would like to get on this red here, down towards the right corner. That'll really help him in the break building department. Looks like he's just come far enough. Red at the bottom of the pack. He'd love to be on that red.
Four.
Doesn't look like he's done far enough. So needs to cut this red in thin with the rest, or it's end of break. There was a good chance for Mark there. If he could have just a bit more weight on the cue ball, he'd be on that red. And then a couple of shots time, he would have cleared the black spot, but not to be. Clearly too thin this red, so just a safety for Mark. Didn't make the most of that opportunity.
Mark Selby, 4.
cue ball just drifted on there. An extra half an inch means so much more to Liang.
Yeah, there's always an element of good fortune when a player creeps in behind a baulk colour like that. Because obviously the main object when playing safe is to get the cue ball tight to the baulk cushion, so Liang clearly caught that one a little thick. But it worked out in his favour this time. But looks like Mark's judged that one to perfection.
Swift score update on the other table. John Astley has taken a 1-0 lead over Mitchell Mann, winning the first frame on the pink.
Liang's main concern here is covering that red near the right corner. But he'd also like to put Mark in a position where he forces him into a tough safety shot. So ideally he'd like to cover the left hand side of the pack, which I think he's just managed to do. So that's a very good shot from Liang. A lot of thought went into that one. Bit of a cagey opening so far, understandable. Not a lot Mark could do there really, other than that. He always knew he was going to be leaving Liang an easy safety shot, but at least that gets rid of that red up in baulk, which often causes frames to go scrappy, so that's put an end to that pretty early.
(6-5) in career meetings to Selby over Liang, who's got a good record against him. Played a great match, did Liang, against Selby in the quarter-final of a European Tour event in Rüsselsheim in Germany, 2010. Quarter-final it was, as I say, 4-2 to Liang. Made 3 centuries in a best-of-7. Also prevailed in their most recent meeting, 4-2 in the 2018 Romanian Masters.
Rare safety mistake there from Selby to give Liang a chance with this red with the rest. Looks like he's going to screw off the bunch, back up for a baulk colour. This could open a few up. Oh, he's played a more delicate cannon, that's a much better shot. Held for the pink, so that's a clever shot from Liang.
7.
This will be a good red to pot if he can get it. This clears the blue into both middle pockets. No, it was a tough
Liang
one.
Wenbo,
Expected
7.
him to get it the way he's played today, but obviously a little bit nervy. A lot riding on this match.
The other thing to bear in mind as Selby floats that one in is that Liang played back-to-back matches this afternoon, so he's had 3 hours between contests.
Mark Selby 1.
Well, okay, the cue ball was close to the side cushion, but who could have foreseen that? Just a simple dab in blue, and it goes wide.
Yeah, can't make any excuses for that one, I'm afraid. It's a poor miss for Mark.
One.
So there's 2 open reds. Not straightforward how to get on them. Going to take a good positional shot. I think Liang will be looking to go into this bunch sooner rather than later. Took the opportunity straight away. And you'd say he's been a bit unfortunate there.
6.
Played the bold shot, played the attacking shot. It could have finished much better.
Liang Wenbo 6.
Tense.
Selby missed one of these a few shots ago. So we'll correct it. No, I missed it pretty similar the last time, round 2, so not quite there yet, Mark. And this time he has left the red.
One.
Good part, a little bit tentative with that one. Should have been the right side of the blue there, but shouldn't be a problem. Looks like he's got the perfect angle to go around the back of the ball colours. Plenty of QPR Liang's got. Looks like he's given this one a bit too much though. And that could be
6.
end of break. Another let off.
Staccato snooker. Stop start. In contrast to Liang's fluidity earlier today. But the game isn't always easy. Or maybe not.
7.
Stopping here. Cracking pot. He's very inventive, Liang.
Yeah, he plays a nice variety of shots, Liang. You don't always know what he's going to play. He's also very attacking, as you see in that last shot.
9.
Tries to look for a positive shot when possible. This could pay dividends this time. Be looking to get right side of the blue here. And then that's a nice little bunch to go into if he chooses.
10.
If he just comes past the left side of the pink, he should push a red towards the corner and possibly open up a few more. Doesn't have to play this too hard. Not exactly as played, but near enough.
15.
So he's still got a pot on. But had he just gone past the pink, probably would have opened a few more and even maybe released the black. So he's going to need a couple more good pots here to keep this break going.
$16.
Played that nicely.
21.
Knew he was playing into an area where he'd have a choice of two reds. Had the white pulled up a bit quicker. He'd have been on the red closest to the cue ball. As it is, he's got a pretty comfortable one with the rest. So he's chipping away here, bit by bit.
$22.
Again, nicely struck. Once again, played into an area.
24.
Choice of three reds, depending on pace he hit the cue ball. So, yet to get the cue ball under complete control, but going along nicely.
$25.
Across on table 2, Mitchell Mann is now on level terms with John Astley at 1 frame each. As we see the miss from Mark Selby. It's proving costly. More costly actually than we might have imagined.
30.
Yeah, it didn't look like a frame-winning chance when Liang come to the table, but like I say, one ball at a time. He's just chipped away, and he's getting ever closer to the winning line in this frame.
31.
Looks like he's still going to need one of the three safe-ish reds. Unless he can take the black off the last remaining loose red, which doesn't seem likely.
$36. $37.
Now this is significant. Liang is 45 points ahead, so the black would put him 52 in front with 51 on. Selby would need a snooker. There you go.
Yeah, you have to say he's took these very well.
44.
This is one of the few breaks where you literally do just play to get on the next ball. Most of the time you're looking 2, sometimes 3 shots ahead. This break really has been Just to the next ball, one at a time.
Liang Wenbo, 44.
But he won't be happy with that by a long shot. Mark Selby only needing one snooker. Is still very, very much in this frame.
Yes, when he's in this position, you don't want to give Selby any form of encouragement whatsoever. He's won so many frames over the years from Snooker's required.
Mark will already be eyeing up this opportunity. He'll be looking to get a couple of reds with blacks. And then, oh, that was a wriggler. But then, ideally for Mark, he'd like to just leave one red just below the pink, so he can get a lovely snooker behind the pink and send the red up in between them baulk colours. And he really will fancy this job here.
Earlier in the week, we saw the youngster Jackson Page
8.
win a frame after requiring a snooker. He was 69 nil down, with 5 reds left against Carrington.
9.
Did this, took the necessary, and then laid a good snooker off the last red in behind the pink. Ended up winning the frame on the black. This is not over yet. Drop your guard against Selby at your peril.
16.
Yeah, all depends how close this red is to the pink, how much distance he can get between the two balls now. He won't want this red to go anywhere near a cushion.
Mark Selby, 16.
Yeah, it's a snooker, but I don't think he'll be too happy with that. Pretty straightforward one cushion escape for Liang. Mark would have been hoping to have that, made that a lot more difficult. But all the time he only needs one snooker, and the balls set as they are. For me, this frame is still in the balance. Obviously Liang's favourite, but not a short price one.
It's a really good point you made about the balls being perfectly placed. If he needed a snooker and 3 or 4 colours were really awkward, it would be a trek back into it. Not his best there though, was it?
No, I don't think he quite made his mind up there. I think Mark did have the option there to pot that red. He could have took blue, pink or black with that red and still only needed one snooker, and he could have left himself in a nice position to get a snooker off the yellow, but didn't work out.
One.
And that's a good exclamation point. What a cracking pot. Not been the highest scoring frame, but Liang's 40 plus break was really hard fought. And with the disappearance of the brown, that's definitely it. So Liang's made a really good start. The only way that Mark Selby can stay in this tournament is to win the next 3 frames.
7.
Do not put it past him. But the way that Liang's playing,
10.
Selby will be fully stretched, even with his powers of recovery and escape.
$14. $19. $25.
One of the stars of the day, Liang Wenbo, and now he's 1 frame away from moving into the semi-final groups of Championship League. Mark Selby. Over the years, on many a big occasion, the master of escapology.
Second frame.
And
Mark
he'll need to
Selby,
be again here. No room for mistake. 3 frames potentially left in this match. Selby needs to win them all. But Joe, he's won so many matches from 2 down with 3 to play. He's won finals from 2 down with 3 to play, so we're not discounting his chances.
Oh no, not by a long shot, even though it's pretty clear on the day's evidence that Liang is playing the better snooker of the two. You just know with Mark Selby, it's never over till it's completely over. He's done it so many times before, you'd be a fool to write him off. But he's definitely going to have to up his game. Chance here for Mark if he chooses to open these reds up. Play a real attacking safety shot. That's what he's played. He played it very well. Always a good idea if you can guarantee a good cue ball to get a few reds open. Makes your opponent's safety shot far more difficult.
Just looking at the bill of fare for the next few days, Joe, big names in action. Ronnie O'Sullivan tomorrow, can't wait. Stuart Bingham on Saturday. Sunday it's Neil Robertson. Monday Mark Allen. But will Selby be coming back? After that, maybe not.
Yeah, that was a great pot. I think Liang thought he could play that red with an element of safety in mind and get the cue ball back to balk, but Cannon red on the way back, and it's worked out perfect for him because he's freed the black. He put his hand up to apologise, but sometimes you pay your money, take your chance, and he deserved that. I think it was a very good pot.
Yeah, I can see the apology, I can see why players do it, but really deep down they're not sorry at all, are they?
No, I think I can vouch for every single player in the game. No, they're not sorry. But it'd be a bit off field if you turned around and said, get in there. I'm delighted with that.
Well, there was a player in the late 80s, early 90s from South Africa called Robbie Grace, who completely dispensed with all of that. When he had a fluke, he used to laugh in his opponent's face.
Yeah, that's maybe going a little bit too far, but I think at least it's a more truthful reaction. So anyway, Yang spotted the black, but it's tied up on its own spot. So a bit of work to do.
9.
Looks like the pink goes though, so it's not all bad news. Looks like the pink spot's tied up also, so that's pink and black out of commission now for this break. So even though there's loose reds available, I don't think it'd be long before we see Liang get high on the blue and open this pack up, try and free the pink and black somehow.
Thank you. 15. $16.
It's got a nice angle on the green here if he chooses to go into the bunch, but be trusting to a lot of luck, I think, the way he's coming at them. Can't really guarantee himself landing on a red by playing it, so probably leave it for another shot or two.
Eighteen. $19.
Didn't want the secondary red in. Much rather have it over the pocket.
Yeah, that was a clever shot from Liang. That's what he played. I don't think he meant the red to go that close, but that is what he played, because that meant he could leave the cue ball wrong side of the blue and still be easy enough to get on a red. And that's a great attacking shot. He knew he had the insurance of the red over the pocket and took the chance to go into the pack, but it looks like he's been very, very
24.
unfortunate. Yeah, he's got an easy plant he can make, red to centre. But it's not going to be easy to get on a colour if he decides to do that.
When you play a shot of that verve and imagination, you deserve something. Pity.
Yeah, I expect him to make this though, Phil. It's not like he's just potting the red in the centre. He's got quite a lot of room for error here. It's just about negotiating the cue ball back for the pink. That looks about spot on, so all of a
25.
sudden this has turned into a good chance. Little grimace from Liang, maybe he's left the cue ball slightly awkward cueing. There you can see he had quite a lot of room for error there. He missed the pot by a long way if that red wasn't over the pocket. So that wasn't too tough a shot.
Right from the get-go today, he's looked in a good place.
So Liang's back with the same
31.
predicament, pink and black tied up. Depends how much he wants to attack. Could possibly pot this red and cannon into the red and black and try and free the black, which would pretty much give him a clear-cut opportunity to win the frame. Decided to play up to the blue,
32.
can't blame him really. He's already got a nice lead. There's enough open reds now to not have to bring the black into play. It just makes break building so much easier when it is. Unintended kiss on the yellow,
37.
but with the red so close to the middle, it's not going to cause any problems. Just needs to drop this one in dead weight. Leave himself right side of the blue if possible. No, I couldn't
38.
do that, had too much angle on it, so it's another little tester. Expecting to get it, but obviously the pressure's building now, getting close to the winning line.
Yes, and as we said earlier, historically and very often he's prone to movement in the shoulder on pressurised shots. This is a classic example of one where the technique could break down. Not there, he was as still as anything.
Yeah, he's looking good, Phil. Looking very composed, very confident.
43.
It's not what you call vintage break building this. The cue ball's travelling a lot of distance, but he keeps potting them and he's getting the job done.
The blue goes into the pocket at the last revolution.
49.
He fought so hard for his decisive break in the previous frame, and this is very similar in that regard. Every credit.
That's
That's a nice shot played there. He might have just come far enough for the blue. But you see he's battled all the way through this frame. Pink and black still not fully in the open. He's a bit of bad luck on the way though. He's opened them up 2 or 3 times. They're just not quite split nicely. So another good pot required. Getting ever closer to winning this group.
55.
Just looking to see if the pink goes there or if he needs to play a little cannon. Can't quite see from our angle.
56.
And that one wriggled. Potted that into the side of the pocket, which is why he's come so close to the pink. Didn't have a lot of room to play with there.
$62. $63.
That was frame ball, and what a break this has been. Both breaks actually, frames 1 and 2, have been really hard work. Never 100% of the cue ball under control, but he's kept potting good ball after good ball. Fully deserves this. I think he's been the best player today.
Well, I think there's a salient
68.
argument to say he's been the best player of the tournament so far. Maybe only rivaled by Gary Wilson, who was in action on the other table today. Look at that.
69. Liang Wenbo, 69 and different.
Get ready for the next phase of this tournament, Liang, because you are in it, and you've done it in very stylish fashion. Comprehensive. 2-0 up on Mark Selby. He's into the next group. transforming half chances into frame winners is a real art. Liang Wenbo has done it not once but twice in this match already. And Mark Selby now is in danger of not even finishing second in the group. He has to win the closing 2 frames to do that. Otherwise, young Joe O'Connor will be the runner-up. Given what he's achieved, given his status in the game, it is purely coincidence, but it's remarkable that Mark Selby in ITV events never really seems to fire. Clearly he had the 147 break, which was tremendous at the Champion of Champions up at the Ricoh Arena in Coventry, but he's not there or thereabouts winning titles.
1.
This, though, from Liang has been a revelation. The best I've seen him play, and the best technically I've seen him for quite some time.
Yep, he's been very good today. Very sound technically. We haven't seen none of the issues that have caused him problems over the last few seasons. Kept very still all day, especially on the big shots, the ones where we normally see a bit of movement. So maybe he's been working hard during the lockdown. We don't know. But it looks like he's definitely been playing, because he's been in great touch all day today.
3.
We've touched on this subject already this week, but I think it applies here as well. We've said that often the world rankings aren't really representative of where a player is in the pecking order. Now, the 2 players currently in the world rankings that come to mind, there's clearly more than 2, Ryan Day and Martin Gould. And it's very much the same with Liang Wenbo. Well, number 34, we know he's better than that.
Yeah, without a doubt, Phil, but I think that's... the rankings are very fluid now. The way the system works, it's very possible to climb the rankings quickly if you have a really good event because of the prize money that's on offer. But then when that turns round and then points come off, it's also very, very easy to slip down the rankings. And I think that's what's happened. A couple of people have had good seasons, and then 2 years down the line they haven't followed them up and they've sort of suffered. But, you know, at the end of the day, the rankings don't lie, they are what they are. But there's no doubt that the players you just mentioned are more than capable of getting back in the top 16 anytime soon. Both capable of winning the tournament, which really does propel you up the rankings.
By the way, Liang Wenbo goes into Group D here on Tuesday. Doesn't know the other 3 players who will be with him there.
10.
With regards to those
11.
semi-final groups, Group A will be Mark Joyce, Luca Brissell, Gary Wilson and another. Group B will be Judd Trump, David Gilbert and Ryan Day, plus 1 more player. The only player into Group C yet is Harvey Chandler. The only player into Group D is the man at the table.
18.
That all sounds very enticing.
19.
Group B already sounds very tasty. But all these groups are going to be full of good players. And obviously, if they're not household names, they've come for a group with some good players in it. So they're all going to be in good form. They're all going to be a little bit sharper than they were first time round. So it's really hotting up for a great tournament. It's all looking very easy for Liang now. Very relaxed.
24.
Definite worthy winner of today's group, but I would have Like to have seen a bit of twitching tonight, Phil. I've been interested if Selby could have won that first frame. Just get Liang at it a little bit, but not to be. Liang's closed it out very well.
Well, in my experience with Liang, you don't see a little bit of twitching. You either see a lot or nothing.
We all twitch, Phil. Don't worry about that.
But he's played all day today with just total serenity.
32.
Remembering those back-to-back victories this afternoon, which laid the foundation for this, he put together 3 tons.
33.
And he's another player who you want to avoid in those World Championship qualifiers. That's world number 34, of course. Doesn't even come in the final round.
Ping ball.
No, that's always eagerly awaited, the World Championship qualifier draw.
Ping ball.
See some great stuff there. And you do see lots of twitching, lots of nerves jangling. One of the, without doubt, the biggest non-televised event we play all season.
Well, they call the
39.
final qualifying round Judgment Day, and one of our colleagues and my good pal Neil Folds always works on that, and it really is great viewing. Of course, Neil commentated on the Dave Gilbert Fergal O'Brien decider that took over 2 hours to play. 2 hours for one frame.
40.
Yeah, you see some great stuff there. It's always get some big stories of the season there, as most players when they set out in their quest to become a professional snooker player, dream of playing at the Crucible. And it's great when you see them dreams come true for players making it there for the first time. But this really is good stuff from Liang.
47.
Looks like he's in practice mode.
Well, actually, talking about the Crucible, Liang is the answer to a really good trivia question. Name the first Chinese player to reach the quarterfinals of the World Championship. Everyone assumes it's Ding, but in fact it was Liang. He beat Ding to the punch.
Might put that one in my Friday night quiz next week.
There we were eulogising about him, and he misses a very simple yellow. That was just concentration, pure and simple. As was that.
Yeah, I think Mark's given up the ghost. I think when you've won as much as what Mark has in the game, I don't think finishing second over third is that big in his career targets.
1.
So it's just a matter of going through the motions now for Liang.
Eight. 9.
Yes, with the disappearance of the pink there, the end of day is nigh.
15. 16.
Well, Joe, who can deny that Liang doesn't deserve this?
Oh no, 100%. He's been the best player so far, what I've seen today, by a long way in this group. And I think so far this week, we haven't had no sort of what you'd call lucky winners. I think everyone who's won their group has thoroughly deserved it. And it is really shaping up to being a great tournament.
22.
And I must thank you, Joe, for your contribution. It's been a pleasure, as always, to share the commentary position.
Thank you, Phil. Yep, I've enjoyed it immensely, as I always do. I always seem to play much better in here than I do out there. That's always a bonus.
30.
Hopefully be back soon.
Liang Wenbo, 30.
The misread.
And the match.
Did not matter. Liang Wenbo has played very nicely all day, and it's finished off with a 3-0 win over Mark Selby. Of course, there won't be a handshake. Liang Wenbo wins the group in impressive fashion. 9 points out of 9. It's not Mark Selby's day.